Thank you. It happened so fast. One moment, my brother was sitting at the kitchen table, enjoying his delicious sandwich. And the next moment, he was on his feet, holding something up and asking, "What's this?" Without realizing it, my mother had accidentally slipped a Band-Aid into his sandwich while she was in the process of making it. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Sometimes we really annoy people that we love just by doing things unintentionally. And in my mother's case, she was being the kind mother that she was, making sandwiches for us and not realizing in her haste that something went wrong. Something always goes wrong. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep. Sometimes the alarm clock doesn't work. But it's all a matter of what is your reaction going to be to get through this. In my brother's case, he could have done three things. He, in this case, went all crazy and got up and screamed and threw down his sandwich and didn't want to eat another hamburger for months and months. His second response could have been a little bit better. He could have returned the favor to my mother by offering to make sandwiches the following week and actually giving her back something in her sandwich that she wasn't expecting. Or he could have done a third thing. He could have just looked at the Band-Aid and either just taken it out and eaten it and not made a big deal about it, or, and I'm just throwing this back out, he could have put it back in the sandwich and actually tasted it and saw if it actually tasted any better. There's lots of ways to annoy people that you love unintentionally. But there's also ways to annoy people that you don't like. One time, this gentleman at work sent an email about another person that he didn't like. And in his haste to get to a meeting, he sent it, and without thinking about it, left for his meeting. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that he accidentally sent it to the person he was writing about. Did you get that? It happens so fast. Things happen, and we make mistakes. How do we get over it? A lot of it has to do with having a sense of humor. You have to be able to laugh at a situation, or at least know that sometime in the future you might be able to use it in a speech or be able to use it in some other part of your life. Things have happened to me a lot where I have been embarrassed or that I annoy somebody, and I have a perfect example for you. Have you ever been in such a hurry to get ready for work that you did something wrong and realized it only when you got to work? One morning, it was very dark in the room, very low lighting, and I got dressed really quickly, drove to work, and as I stepped outside of the car, I realized I had two different shoes on. I was embarrassed, but there was absolutely no time to go back home and change. So I actually went into work, and I admitted to my boss what had happened, and realized that she was surprised, actually, that she had done the same thing many years ago. So sometimes when you own up and confess to something that you did wrong, and you share that with somebody else, you can actually make a connection. Another time when I was at work, I was reaching for something on the shelf, and my friend Sylvia was there. And as I was pulling the box down, a hammer fell down out of the box and smacked my head. It happened so fast. Sylvia and I had no time to react. And as it hit my head, I looked at her, and she started to laugh. And I knew exactly why she was laughing. She said, "I'm so sorry, Christina," she said. It's just that sounded just like a cartoon. What happened is it hit my head, and if you can imagine the ding noise, just like in a cartoon, when Tom and Jerry or any other cartoon where the cartoon character is running, smacks into a wall, flattens out, and hears the ding. That was how I sounded. I was a little annoyed that she was laughing at me, but I couldn't hold it against her because she had a point. It was just something that was funny. Now really, it just happened so fast, I had to go on and share this with you. Mr. Toastmasters.